Hello, my name is David McLean. I'm the Campaigns and Research Officer at the Southwark Group of Tenants Residents Organisation. Today we have with us Jeannette Mason, who is a chair of the Ledbury Estate Tenants and Residents Association. Just to get started straight into the interview, I've already introduced you, but would you like to introduce yourself and say anything about yourself before we get to the next question?
My name is Jeannette Mason, and as it's been said, I chair the Ledbury Tenants Association. I'm a homemaker. My interest is of reading. I'm learning how to do computer classes, which is coming along quite now, thanks to Harold, and grandchildren.
Excellent. For the record, can you state your role in the TNRA, which you have done, and how long you've been associated with the Ledbury Estate?
The Ledbury Estate, I moved on in 1981. A few years after that, I became involved with the Residents Tenants Association as just like a worker, a soldier, whatever they used to call them days or now. Then I came off of it, and then up until about 3 to 4 years ago, I came back on it as just a worker again, and now I chair it, which that wasn't what I intended to do at all. But this is I'm on my third year as being a chair.
Since you didn't plan to become chair, what made you decide to become chair? I'm sure there were many factors, but what in the end said, all right, I'll do the job?
Ledbury was falling apart, and too many people behind closed doors, including myself, talking about it. The estate is not how it was when we moved on, and how it's going down the pan. A lot more should be done. Well, rather than talking, I joined the TRA again, and our old chair was leaving. The committee was more or less disbanding. How we was going to get it up going again, we thought it would completely go. So people put me in as chair, and I said, well, I've got no idea, and I'm still learning a lot of things, and just plodding day for day really to get the estate back up to how it was years ago, learning off of other people, and they pushed me, they sort of like guided me into being the chair, and I said, okay, but I'll do it as we're committed, we do it as a team, and not just me.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you were born and raised, and what kind of dwelling you grew up in? I
was born and bred in Forest Hill, which is South East 23, so it all connects up to Peckham, East Dulwich,
yes,
and Brockley. I lived in a house. It wasn't council, because I think years ago it used to be private. You pay your rent to a landlord and things. My first being was when I got married and lived in a council property from there. But I went to school in Forest Hill, Sydenham Girls' School.
Does the community you grew up in when you were young, does that shape the way you feel about participating in TNRAs, and what kind of community spirit did you grow up in? Was it disparate, or did people always talk together and gather together, and how was it like, just to give us a picture?
Absolutely, because we lived in a road, streets around us, we were all friendly. You had family in other turnings, that you walk round up to the next street, and there was a friend from your school, from your work, from where you grew up going to school. You had family. And neighbours were all, used to come out and help one another. And the elderly got helped. The children, you knew the children. The police officers used to come round and say, if you don't go home or you're playing out, I'm going to tell your mum. Yeah. And I've heard lots of people from older than my group, and as it's got older from my group, it was still happening. Yeah. Not so much because it was coming into the 60s, Yeah. But all friendly, but then you never had the tower blocks, and I think the tower blocks have destroyed community life, way of life.
Okay, that's very interesting. We might touch on that afterwards in terms of asking you about what you think the future holds or should hold for social housing. drawing on your experience in volunteer roles, your homemaking experience, what do you bring to your TNRA?
I encourage them to all bring together to the TRA. It's not me precisely, I don't think. I think we have a good working relationship as a team. Everyone gets to have their say. If it's approved by the committee, then it's approved by the committee and not by me, myself. I put things on the table if they agree with it, but it's a teamwork, not a chair work.
Yeah, that's excellent. What is the most difficult challenge you've had to overcome with the TNRAs?
When I first took on as chair, we had £85 in our budget. We didn't know if it was going to fall apart. Our resident officer, George Coombs, helped us a lot, and I think even he thought, it's not going to work, we're not going to get off the ground or anything like that, because we just didn't know what to do. There was me, my vice chair Linda. We didn't have Val Taylor as secretary at the time. We never had a secretary. So I was doing posters and everything with the help of my sister that works on the Elmston estate, which is, she's the chair there. So I had the help of her. And it was hard. It was hard going, doing minutes and things like that. So it was to do all that, the roles of it. It was hard, but I think I've gone off the balance a bit.
No, you're right.
It
was difficult. So that was the most difficult.
Very difficult until it started lifting. Until we got to know we was in debt of £3,000. This was to the gas people and the electric. How I don't know that the people before that, come on. I had to get them all out of that, and each member that was on there got strong and helped us. And we've got the money knocked down. We've got payments from the council that you're entitled to every year, which helped us out. We had money that we could go to for grants, and we didn't know. We got that in, and that helped us. So we cleared every bit of debt out, what we owed, what the people owed before us, and we started off with a clean slate.
So really, you shouldn't be chairing the TNRA. You should maybe be Chancellor of UK.
No, I don't think so.
Bring us out.
No, I don't think that.
No, well done. That's a real turnaround story based on teamwork and undeniably leadership. Leadership is the key in these things. What is the happiest experience you've had with the Ledbury Estate and TNRA?
Well, I got money from the Cleaner and Greener team, and I was able to get the money from them over a period of 2 years to do the Bromyard project, where we're putting in raised beds, seating, and a climbing thing for older children to play, because it's such a grey concrete area, nothing happens around there. Well, hopefully this will open it up for them. I think, they'll be pleasantly pleased. They may have a little bit of, we don't want this. They did want it around, but they just don't get themselves involved. So we've done their best. We've asked them, we leafleted them, we invited them to meeting after meeting. Some come, some said just get on with it, so we did. So we hope we've opened up a lot more, and it's a bit, you can use recycled things there, on there. So it's all being done, and by the 2nd November, hopefully it'll be done with no hiccups. It will be done, and we'll have an opening, so people can come along and do a little bit of celebrating.
Fantastic. What are the challenges and opportunities facing Ledbury Estate? What do you see as things that can have a bad effect on the TNRA, and what are the opportunities that you see, such as what you've said already about the investments that you've been able to generate? But just to analyse, just in case, I don't know, for your successor in the future, what would be your advice to them to watch out for and to make sure they're doing in terms of opportunities?
Always work together. You are not a boss. You are a volunteer, just like the rest of your team. you work together and keep working together. You know, try and agree on it as much as that. You don't always agree. You all got your different opinions, but just try and do your best to be very biased. Don't get involved with either side. Just be biased and work things out as best way you can, and work for the estate. And you know, not to say I've done this and I've done that. It's for the community. If you're going to do it for the community and not for yourself, because you're living on it, but just do it for, you know, you must work to be a team.
Yeah, so the team spirits are critical for any success or failure of the TNRA. Yeah, I mean that sounds what can the SGTO in your judgment do to support and assist the Ledbury and the TNRA, and what can be done to strengthen the bond between the two?
Well, I think we should all, you know, come to the meetings, and if there is any problems that we are having, the SG, you know, is there to help us.
So to your meetings?
Yeah.
More regularly?
I think so, yeah. I think that they can come down and put an input, you know. But having said that, they haven't been asked. As I say, I'm still learning. I may have done this being in my third year, but asking it's still, you can't get people to come to your meetings. You try very hard. We are getting a bit more successful, but it's still very hard. So the SGTO, I'm still not sure really 100% what they do for us. I know they campaign. I know they're behind us and everything like that, but it's not really spelled out. And that's only me. I can only say it for myself because I'm new at it. So I'm still learning. There's so many different groups. I'm still learning which group belongs to this, and you know, and I go to the meetings. I try and accompany every meeting that I possibly can.
And which one's relevant for your specific
I like coming to this one, definitely the SGTO. I really do. There's the other one, the forum, Betty, that I like going to the repairs meetings for the tenants. You know, although they don't come out and tell us. So I'm hoping that means our estate is brilliant. Mia's are doing a brilliant job because they're not complaining. But I do attend them, so no one can say we don't know because we tell them. Please come out, give us your. I've given them my phone number. Please come out, tell us, and we will take it further for you.
So you would say that strengthening the bonds, somebody coming to your general meeting and just inputting, understanding, and even just being there as a source of reference during the meetings would help strengthen the bond.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you. What is your vision for Ledbury Estate TNRA? You know, if you close your eyes, how would you like to see the estate be, or what kind of legacy would you like to leave behind?
Drug-free for a start, but it's not as bad as some other ones. We've got a free school in there at the moment, and that's putting money our way. So with that, we can ring fence a lot of that money. So when the school go, we can do things for, you know, buy things instead of hiring it all out. We also can do, at the moment, we can do a lot of things free for the community, hoping all that will bring them more in through the door. I mean, let's face it, if it's free, they come running. If you've got to pay for it, they go the other way. I know at the end of it, they'll probably say, well, it used to be free, we're not getting it. I know one day we're going to have to stop, but all the time we've got the free school, which is for probably about another 2 to 3 years, we've got money coming in. No, we don't hire out the hall, but we still do events for the children, the elderly. We still keep it functioning. But we don't need to hire it out the hall, and it's a lot better at the moment for doing that. And we can do a lot of free things for the community of the Ledbury, and that is what we're aiming to do, so we can build it bigger and stronger and work together with them.
Well, that sounds like a fantastic vision. We're almost near the end, but I just want to touch on something you mentioned earlier about community and how it was when you were younger and how it is now. And you lived on a street, but now we have a lot of high-rise flats. Obviously, Southwark's got high-density problems or lack of space. Looking for the future, the council is looking to build 10,000 new homes. What do you think about that, and what do you think about how they should look like? Because obviously they've been trying to consult people, and people like tenants and residents associations and the chairs should be at the very first people they should be talking to. But what in your judgment about these issues?
Well, they do say they're consulting us, but I don't think they're consulting us. I think they're, they're going ahead and doing it whatever people say. Tower blocks are one of the worst things that was ever built. They've destroyed the community, my personal opinion. You get neighbours that don't know which should you get for on the land on my estate. Some don't even know. Once they're in, that's it. They don't come down. The lifts are out of order. They can't get out. They can't do this. They can't do that, which is an awful shame. They've destroyed community tower blocks. I know you probably have got to have them because the multitude of people what you've got, especially in Southwark, you've got to house them. But they're horrible looking. They're very lonely places. I lived in a tower block on the 18th floor on Pete's Estate when I got married, and it's one of the loneliest places to be stuck up there, out the way. Some people are, the view and everything. Well, that's fine. But when you've got children, the children want to see the view. The children want greenery to play. You've got to take them to a park. You've got to, and then they just want that bit of green. And it was so different years ago. We had gardens. Where? You've got nothing now. Community on the estate, but even that sometimes is destroyed by old people or drug people or drinkers come. All walks of way of life. So the community has been destroyed, I think, by tower blocks. Neighbours don't know half who they are.
So you would advise the council, if they're going to build further houses, to maybe think very carefully if they're considering tower blocks. And I suppose I think one of the issues that we have to grapple with, I think, in my judgment, they have to think about moving people out of the borough, but doing it in a humane way, in the sense where there's we can help you move to a better place, not shifting them off to some run-down place where nobody wants to go, as most likely could be the case. But saying, okay, look, we have a system in place here where we can transfer you, but transferring in a way where it's meeting your needs and meeting our needs, and doing it with existing stockholders, because we've got 20,000 waiting list, and I think there's a lot of people now who live in council housing who perhaps shouldn't be in there, in terms of income, and of course in terms of behaviour. But that's also another issue. But I think that's an issue we need to really grapple about, re-levelling the population in Southwark. But is there anything else you want to say to let people know about Ledbury and what's going on in Ledbury, what's up and coming? If I'm a Ledbury resident, what should I be hearing from you? What would you like to let me know?
Well, as I say, From Yard will be opening. Well, it is open, but we're having a little gathering, for people to come along for that. We have got a free schooling. It will be up, still there. They're hoping to get planning permission to move down to the rather high New Road, and then they will move out and we'll have the building back, but we still work with the school. And I think that's more or less it. As Mears has taken over contracts, we've just got a good working relationship, and it gives you some idea. I live in Pencraig Way, and it's like a little road. Well, we all know one another, we're all friends. But the tower block, I know people in the tower block because I'm the chair, and some of them, they've got to know me. But apart from that, I wouldn't know who lives in there. But that just goes to prove. So I'm hoping that if we can all build on it, we'll get to know it and make Ledbury Estate. It is a nice estate to live on. It's not a bad estate, but better.
Yeah.
Just come all together and be a community. No matter what age, no matter where you come from, culture or religion, nothing like that gets in the way. We all come together as a community and help one another.
Well, I must say, Janet, I think Ledbury Estate is very fortunate to have a chair like yourself, and hopefully they'll have another one like yourself, and that will endure in terms of your vision.
That's very kind of you. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us.
My pleasure.
And that's the end of the show.